Trust, this fundamental foundation in any interpersonal relationship, is a topic as vast as it is fascinating. Today, we will dive into this universe, exploring 7 profiles of individuals who, through the lens of Stoic philosophy, can be considered unworthy of trust. Beginning this journey of understanding requires, first and foremost, a keen and analytical eye. We are about to unravel not just what these people say, but what they truly reveal through their actions and essence. Let's then, step by step, decipher each of these profiles. It will be an exercise in perception and introspection. As we address each trait, we aim to understand the reasons behind the mistrust that these behaviors inspire. This exploration will not just be a narrative about distrust, but also a journey of self-discovery, where we learn to discern and value genuineness in human relationships. Get ready, because each profile revealed will be an invitation to reflection, a moment to question and better understand the nuances of human interactions. Our goal is not just to inform, but also to awaken curiosity and critical thinking in you, our listener, whose age range varies, but whose thirst for knowledge is universal. Let's enter this world of discoveries and insights together. Before we delve deeper into this fascinating topic, a quick reminder, if you haven't yet, subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. And stay with us until the end of the video. First, as we delve deeper into the intricate maze of narcissistic personalities, we find fertile ground to apply Stoic teachings, which guide us to a more balanced and conscious existence. The Stoics, with their ancient wisdom, teach us to cultivate unwavering serenity, even amidst the emotional storms caused by those whose actions are governed by exacerbated egocentrism. Reflecting on this scenario, we are invited to ponder, when we find ourselves face with individuals whose existential orbit seems confined to themselves, we witness a lack of empathy and negligence in caring for others. This self-centered nature, typical of narcissists, puts their own images and desires at the forefront, often to the detriment of others. This stance not only reveals the nature of the trust we can place in these people but also highlights the fragility of bonds built without the solid foundation of reciprocity and mutual respect. In this context, Stoic philosophy emerges as a beacon, illuminating the path to maintaining our inner peace. It teaches us to recognize and accept what we cannot control, including the narcissistic attitudes of others. By doing so, we develop emotional resilience that protects us from being consumed by the negativity of others. Trust, this delicate web of human connections, easily unravels in the hands of those who only see themselves. Narcissists, in their relentless pursuit of self-affirmation and admiration, may resort to manipulative tactics that not only harm those around them but also erode their own essence. Such strategies, while they may bring superficial gain, ultimately distance these individuals from genuine self-acceptance and personal growth. Therefore, when interacting with people of a narcissistic nature, Stoic wisdom advises us to maintain our emotional center stable and unperturbed. Recognizing the transience and limitation of external control, we focus on cultivating our virtue and maintaining our serenity, essential elements for a fulfilling and meaningful life. By embracing these Stoic principles, we not only strengthen ourselves against the challenges posed by narcissistic personalities, but we also advance on our personal journey towards wisdom, balance, and inner tranquility. And this compulsive act of self-desire and admiration is extremely dangerous, because it's impossible to know what such a person is capable of doing to maintain their image. Typically, these are individuals who make others take the blame for their mistakes. Therefore, do not trust people who talk too much about themselves and only want to impose their opinions on others without listening to anyone, because these are people who can harm you at any moment to get what they want. Second, addressing the figure of the gossip under the light of Stoic philosophy, we uncover valuable lessons on how to deal with the spread of rumors and malicious words. The Stoics, with their pragmatic and centered view, advise us not to place excessive value on others' opinions, especially when they are defamatory or slanderous. This Stoic wisdom reminds us that the power of others' words over us lies only in the importance we choose to give them. The Stoic practice of emotional detachment and rationality teaches us to view gossip not as absolute truths, but as reflections of those who propagate them. Gossip is often less about the content and more about the intention and nature of the one spreading it. Stoic historians and philosophers highlight the importance of being guardians of our own inner peace. If someone acts as a gossip, revealing secrets and spreading information about others, this behavior can be a reliable indicator of their character. It is prudent to assume that if someone speaks about others to you, they will speak about you to others. This perception is not just an assumption, it's a realistic observation of human nature, particularly in contexts where gossip is common. According to the Stoics, we should cultivate emotional self-sufficiency, strengthening ourselves against the potentially harmful influence of gossip and intrigue. This means recognizing the futility of trying to control or influence others' conversations, and instead focusing on what is under our direct control, our actions, reactions, and beliefs. However, it is interesting to note that despite its potentially destructive nature, gossip can be viewed from a utilitarian perspective. In certain circumstances, if there is information one wishes to strategically disseminate, a gossip can serve as an unexpected means to that end. By sharing something with a gossip, one can anticipate that this information will be spread. This, however, is an approach that should be handled with caution and wisdom, taking into account the possible consequences. In summary, Stoic philosophy guides us to face gossip with a detached and rational view, cultivating our emotional resilience and maintaining the integrity of our character. By doing this, we not only protect ourselves from negative influences but also align ourselves with a path of greater serenity and profound understanding of human nature. Third, when considering the challenge of dealing with people who constantly irritate us, Stoic philosophy offers an enriching and transformative perspective. The Stoics teach us the importance of self-reflection and controlling our own reactions, especially in interactions with manipulative or annoying individuals. Stoic practice invites us to deep introspection, questioning how our perceptions, attitudes, and reactions contribute to the dynamics of these interactions. Instead of succumbing to an immediate emotional response, we are encouraged to pause and reflect. This pause is crucial. It allows us to analyze the situation with greater clarity and rationality, avoiding impulsive reactions that could exacerbate the problem. It's common to experience a loss of patience or irritation during periods of stress or personal difficulty. In these moments, our tolerance may decrease, not necessarily because of the person in question, but as a result of accumulated emotional strain. On the other hand, when we are in a more serene state but continue to feel irritated in the presence of a specific person, it indicates that this person may be subtly and constantly provoking us. The Stoics recognize that, in many cases, people who irritate us do so through subtle manipulations. They may make comments or suggest ideas that sow confusion and doubt, fueling our internal unrest. This gradual and constant approach can be hard to notice, as it's designed to destabilize without being obvious. Stoic wisdom advises us to be aware of these subtle games. If a person manages to irritate us consistently, it's likely that they are prodding us with calculated words and gestures, often outside our conscious perception. These individuals may find pleasure in this type of manipulation, making it essential that we remain vigilant and protected against such tactics. To effectively deal with this situation, the Stoics suggest practicing emotional control and objectivity. Recognizing that we cannot control the actions of others, but only our own reactions, we can choose to respond in a calm and deliberate manner. By doing this, we not only preserve our inner peace but also strengthen ourselves against the influence of these irritating behaviors. Therefore, in the face of people who systematically provoke us, Stoicism guides us to a stance of inner firmness and understanding, allowing us to navigate these interactions with wisdom and balance, without allowing our emotions to be unduly disturbed. If you're enjoying this, don't forget to subscribe and leave your comment. It's very important to us, and you help support our work. Let's continue. Fourth, when addressing the issue of indecisive people from a Stoic perspective, we are guided to a deeper and more pragmatic understanding of how to deal with others' uncertainty and indecision. Stoic philosophy, with its emphasis on control over our own actions and decisions, offers valuable guidance. The Stoics teach us to focus on what is under our direct control, a lesson particularly relevant when dealing with indecisive people. This ancient philosophy advises us not to waste emotional or mental energy in attempts to change or influence someone else's indecision. Instead, we should direct our effort and attention to our own choices and actions, what we truly can control. Chronic indecision in someone may indeed be a sign of a lack of confidence or an underdeveloped personality. This can lead to a sense of unpredictability and inconsistency, which naturally raises questions about the reliability of that person. When dealing with indecisive individuals, it is understandable to question how much we can trust their decisions or rely on them in critical situations. The Stoics also recognize that each person has their own path and pace of development. Therefore, while focusing on our own choices, it is equally important to cultivate patience and understanding towards the limitations and challenges of others. Although it can be frustrating to interact with someone who is habitually indecisive, the Stoic response would be to maintain serenity and objectivity, avoiding hasty judgments or harsh criticisms. In this context, it is prudent to exercise caution when entrusting indecisive people with significant responsibilities or critical decisions. However, this does not mean that we should treat them with disdain or impatience. Instead, we can offer guidance or support, always remembering that the final decision is theirs to make. Stoic philosophy encourages us to accept people as they are, with all their imperfections and uncertainties, while maintaining firmness and clarity in our own decisions and actions. By doing so, we can maintain our inner peace and handle interpersonal challenges in a more effective and balanced manner. If you're enjoying this, don't miss out on the opportunity. Purchase the ebook now, Stoicism in the 21st Century, Ancient Strategies for Modern Challenges, and unlock your prosperity, abundance, and improve your relationships with this ebook. Link in the pinned comment. The fifth, Stoic philosophy offers a thoughtful and introspective approach to dealing with two-faced people, those who exhibit double or deceitful behavior. The Stoic practice of focusing on personal virtue and emotional self-mastery provides us with a path to navigate these complex interactions with wisdom and serenity. The Stoics advise us to exercise caution and not to get consumed by concern over the duplicitous actions and words of these individuals. Instead of focusing on the fickle and often deceptive behavior of these people, we are encouraged to turn our attention to cultivating our own virtues, such as honesty, integrity, and moral fortitude. This approach not only protects us against the negative impact of their actions but also strengthens our character. Many of us have likely encountered two-faced individuals in our lives. They may seem friendly and supportive in our presence, but speak ill of us behind our backs, spreading rumors and misinformation. This type of behavior can be deeply disturbing and harmful, not just to the target but also to the surrounding environment. The Stoics, valuing clarity and authenticity in human relationships, suggest that upon identifying such behavior, the best action may be to distance oneself from these individuals. By doing so, we are not only protecting our mental and emotional peace but also reaffirming our personal values. At the same time, Stoicism teaches us to master our emotions and respond to adverse situations with balance and consideration. This means recognizing and accepting that we cannot control the behavior of others, but we can control how we react to it. Instead of allowing others' duplicity to disturb our inner balance, we choose to maintain serenity and rationality. Therefore, in dealing with two-faced people, Stoic philosophy guides us to act cautiously, to cultivate virtue in ourselves, and to maintain mastery over our emotions. This allows us to face such challenges with dignity and strength of character, maintaining our integrity and inner peace. The sixth, the Stoic approach to dealing with people who seem to be constantly embroiled in problems and difficulties offers a balanced and self-directed perspective. This philosophy teaches us to emphasize personal responsibility in self-mastery, rather than attributing our circumstances to external factors like luck or fate. The Stoics, with their focus on rationality and internal control, encourage us to observe these individuals with a critical yet compassionate eye. It may appear that such individuals are perpetually unlucky or victims of unfair circumstances. However, often their ongoing difficulties may be the result of recurring choices and behaviors that fail to recognize and correct. A common trait in these people is the tendency to see themselves as perpetual victims of life, always at the mercy of new problems and challenges. They may express confusion and despair, claiming not to understand why things always go wrong for them. However, upon deeper analysis, we often find that these problematic patterns are largely self-inflicted, a result of poor decisions or a lack of learning from past experiences. The Stoics advise us to be courteous and understanding towards these people but also to maintain a certain caution. It's important to recognize that while we can offer support and guidance, we cannot take responsibility for another person's problems, nor should we allow these problems to negatively impact us. Stoic wisdom suggests that in dealing with such people, we should avoid being dragged into their spheres of chaos and drama. Instead of getting overly involved in their crises, we should maintain a healthy distance, offering support but not taking on the burden of their problems. This balance allows us to maintain our serenity and focus on our own growth and development. Therefore, in situations with people who are always in the midst of problems, the Stoics guide us to exercise compassionate discernment, recognizing that while we can extend a hand, the ultimate responsibility for change and improvement lies with each individual. By adopting this approach, we protect our internal peace and continue to focus on our own path of growth and virtue. The seventh, in situations where people only pretend to listen, Stoic philosophy guides us to adopt an assertive and authentic stance, valuing our time and personal dignity. The Stoics teach us the importance of genuine communication and mutual respect in all interactions, emphasizing that we should guard against superficial and inattentive conversations. The act of pretending to listen, without really paying attention or caring about what is being said, is essentially a form of disrespect. This behavior can be frustrating and devalues the nature of genuine dialogue. In a true conversation, a reciprocal exchange is expected, where both parties are engaged and interested in what the other has to say. The Stoics advise us to be attentive observers of such dynamics. When we notice that the other person is distracted, uninterested, or worse, absorbed in their cell phone while we speak, it is a clear sign that the conversation is not productive or enriching. In this context, Stoic assertiveness would suggest that it's better to end the conversation rather than continue speaking without being heard. According to Stoic philosophy, our time is a valuable resource and should not be wasted on empty or one-sided interactions. If we find ourselves in a situation where our words are being ignored, the Stoic response would be to withdraw respectfully and with dignity. This attitude not only saves us from unnecessary frustrations but also reaffirms our commitment to authentic and meaningful communication. Therefore, in the face of people who pretend to listen, the Stoics encourage us to recognize our worth and the importance of our time. We should opt for conversations that are reciprocal and respectful, steering away from situations where our presence and words are not valued. By doing this, we honor ourselves and cultivate more genuine and satisfying relationships. Analyzing the different types of people who can undermine trust is an exercise that provides valuable lessons in the pursuit of more authentic and meaningful relationships. Incorporating Stoic teachings into our lives teaches us to maintain our inner peace, even in the face of challenges and difficult people. Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of cultivating virtue, encouraging us to live with honesty, justice, and courage in all our relationships. This implies not only being true to our values but also respecting the rights and dignity of others. The practice of authenticity indeed holds a central place in Stoic philosophy. This principle guides us to be true to ourselves and others, encouraging us to communicate our ideas, thoughts, and feelings honestly and respectfully. By being authentic, we are not only honoring our own truth but also creating a space of trust and sincerity in our relationships. Authenticity allows for a genuine exchange, where each party feels heard and valued, establishing A solid foundation for healthy and meaningful relationships. Along with authenticity, Stoicism highlights the importance of self-control, especially in challenging situations. Having the ability to manage and control our emotional and behavioral reactions is essential. This does not mean repressing emotions, but rather understanding and channeling them in a productive manner. By choosing to respond in a considered and rational way, we avoid impulsive reactions that can complicate or deteriorate relationships. Self-control helps us to navigate the complexities of human interactions with balance and effectiveness, allowing us to act in accordance with our values and principles, even under pressure or provocation. Therefore, the combination of authenticity and self-control creates a powerful foundation for dealing with the various situations and relationships in our lives. By adhering to these Stoic principles, we cultivate not only deeper and truer relations, but also a greater sense of peace and personal satisfaction. Adopting Stoic principles indeed strengthens our ability to establish and nurture healthy and rewarding relationships. This philosophy, by emphasizing the importance of virtue, self-control, and authenticity, guides us to deeply value the quality of our interactions. By seeking connections based on mutual respect, personal enrichment, and authenticity, we create an environment conducive to the development of genuine and profound relationships. Facing the challenges of human relations with wisdom, compassion, and discernment is a journey that allows us to grow both individually and in our relationships. By applying Stoic teachings in our daily lives, we learn to approach each interaction with an open mind and a generous heart, making us more capable of forming meaningful and lasting bonds. This approach not only enriches our personal life but also contributes to building a more empathetic and understanding community. By cultivating these Stoic values, we become agents of positive change in our social circles, promoting an environment where true connection and mutual understanding can flourish. That's all for today. I sincerely hope these tips are of great use to you. Don't forget that you are a crucial part of this channel. So, if this video helped you to think or learn something, leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. Stay with the Creator.